I've come in today and said, Rashford was brilliant last night. And we all agree, Rashford was fantastic last night. And you're trying to tell me it's because of Mourinho and because of Zlatan that Rashford's suddenly brilliant. Is that right? I can't wait for this, so go on.
No, what I actually said to you, if you do listen, but you do like to twist what actually I do say. For the second day running, but what I actually did say is that Marcus Rashford was a young player last year, came on the scene, surprised everyone. Absolutely everyone. Probably even Manchester United themselves with his performances. The way they 8 goals in 18 appearances. He won an FA Cup. He scored on his England debut. He even got in Euro 2016. Brilliant. But this year, when you've been bagging Manchester United for the way Ibra's been playing and what effect he's had on Marcus Rashford, I think anybody would say, when you look at his performances this year, he's become an all-round better player. His positioning, he can play in anywhere along that top line. He can change during games and go from wide right, wide left to go central. His runs, absolutely, he has improved. He's still got a little bit of work to do, by the way. I mean, he had a great opportunity last night, 1-on-1, and he missed. But Zlatan missed a couple of chances last night, which he would normally put away.
I just had a quick flick back. It was last week when the PFA Young Player of the Year nominees were announced. I didn't see Marcus Rashford's name there. So if he's been like this
he hasn't
all-round
compared
player,
to the others.
No, I tell you what the story is. Do you want to know what the story really is? Because this contriving, this crowbarring of plaudits for Mourinho and Zlatan, I cannot get my head round at all, right? Mourinho hasn't had a clue what to do with him because he's too young. Okay, Mourinho just doesn't know how to handle him. So he's played him out of position, put him on the bench, giving him lots of minutes, but they've not been very happy minutes this season.
Hang on, hang on, just quickly on that. Just quickly on that.
What are you twisting now?
Do you know what position he actually was playing for Manchester United's youth team when he got picked?
Yeah, he's on the left-hand side.
Oh, sorry, he was on the left-hand side.
Yeah, everybody knows
that.
I
forgot about that.
So is that
I'm just saying, I'm asking you where he was playing for Manchester United youth team.
Yeah, but he's not in the youth team anymore, mate.
He's playing out on the left.
What do you think that's his best position?
I think he can play anywhere along that line.
It's outrageous.
But once you're starting, if you're comparing him to Zlatan, it's comical.
I'm not.
It really is.
Well, when was that? When did I do that?
Well, you said Zlatan shouldn't be in the team. Rashford should be playing as centre forward.
Well, I think that's fairly clear to everybody.
How many times you said that this year?
It's fairly clear to everybody that should happen.
Well, it's not. He scored nearly 30 goals, Zlatan.
Well, have they played really well, Manchester United?
Well, they've won a competition. They're in the semi-final of another competition, and they beat Manchester City, the game we're going to be at. Next week, next Thursday, and actually they're only a point behind them. So what's the issue?
Well, the issue is that when they played Chelsea last week, they played a lot better football and looked a lot more fluid and more exciting and quicker. They just looked better all round without Zlatan. And Rashford was playing really well. Last night, Rashford snatching at chances. He played okay, but he was snatching at chances. It felt to me like he was nervous while Zlatan was on the pitch. Zlatan goes off. All of a sudden, Rashford has no weight on his shoulders and he manages to score the winning goal. Fantastic for him. But what's the common denominator? He does better when Zlatan's not in the team. I don't know how anybody could ignore that. What is this obsession people have got with Zlatan Ibrahimovic? What is it?
No, I'm not denying that. I'm not saying he doesn't probably play better without Zlatan on the pitch because he is the focal point. I agree with that bit. That's a good point. Totally logical.
So I'm right.
No, it's a total logical point. But what I'm trying to say to you is the only thing is but suddenly he was a good young player who was very talented, got his opportunity last year, and he amazed people what he could do for such a young kid. But everybody knows that second year, especially someone who came on like he did, it was going to be harder. And he's been training with these players now consistently. Not just come in halfway through the season and been stuck in there. He's actually now trained with them for a while. He's seen the runs or the movement of these other strikers that are had, which they haven't got the pace of Rashford. I think that's quite obvious. But he's got pace in a different league to Zlatan and Wayne Rooney have got. But being around him, surely that must have improved him, made him a better all-round player. And having people slagging off Mourinho because he's played him on the left or played him on the right and played Zlatan up top as a focal point. Because so far, if they end up winning the Europa and finishing in the top 4 as well and winning a competition, it's been a pretty successful season.
I would expect a player in Man United's first team squad, as young as Rashford, to be in and around that kind of environment, working under a top-class coach like Mourinho, I would expect a player to get better anyway. Nobody at the end of last season was thinking, well, Rashford's going to get worse. They're all thinking he's only going to improve. The rate of progression might be slow, it might be quick, who knows? For me, it's been incredibly slow this year, and he's no better now, seemingly, than what he was at the end of last season. But then I'll point to, if you're saying that, this has got to be down to Zlatan's influence, it's got to be down to Mourinho's influence, well, how has that influence, if it's so good, made Anthony Martial worse? No matter which way you dress it up, I don't know how you can contrive that it's because of Mourinho and because of Zlatan that Rashford's looked good in the last two games. Well, no,
because of Rashford being playing where he's been playing, Martial's been the one who's missed out, because Rashford's played better than Martial most of the season. That's why he gets the nod in front of him.
So Martial has got worse with Zlatan around and with Mourinho around.
Rashford's got better in keeping Martial out.
Rashford's got better. You think he's better than he was at the end of last season?
I think Rashford, as an all-round footballer, he's better. He's more confident. Some of the skills he showed last night, he wouldn't have even thought of doing that.
Could you not just hold your hands up and say, just once, Goffy, just hold your hands up and say, actually, you know what? Maybe Mourinho did get it wrong. Maybe he got it wrong. Maybe if he played Rashford in a more clever way, if he'd been brighter with Rashford, if he trusted Rashford a bit more, Rashford's rate of progression would have been quicker and would have been getting this from him all season.
Could have been, but that could have been if we'd never know. All I'm trying to say is, but Zlatan's been a good signing for Manchester United. It might not need to be there next year now, and I think after this run-in now, let's see what Rashford's got, and if he keeps delivering what we all think he can deliver, next season will be his big one. He'll be his big opportunity. He could be the centre-forward. He could be the main man. He's got a perfect opportunity now, because Zlatan's going to be out for the rest of the season, possibly. So who's going to play up top?
You see, my view is Zlatan is who he is, and he slows everything down, and he ambles back, which means they can't play the ball back quickly because he's in an offside position. There's so much that's wrong with the way Zlatan plays in terms of how Manchester United fans want their team to play. And he's got away with it because he scored a lot of goals out of nothing. And that's what he's spectacularly good at. The goal at Sunderland, for example, recently. Magnificent. There's no goal on there at all. And out of nothing, a quick turn, and the defender's done, and he's buried the shot from the edge of the area. It's absolutely brilliant from him. But ultimately, over the course of the season, there's a lot of goals there, but the way they play, it's all about him. So I'm wondering how many Man United fans are there thinking, do you know what, waste of a season. Yeah, we may well go on and win the Europa League and get in the Champions League, but Manchester United's not all about that. Manchester United should be challenging for the title, and if they don't win the title, there's no problem with Champions League the following year because they get in the top four, no question. Now it's a battle to be in the top four or winning the Europa League. So Man United's standards have not really got any higher under Jose Mourinho. There's the expectations no higher.
Come on. So right, let's ask the fans that. They say you're telling me the football this season is not better than the football last season.
That's not what I was saying. The football is marginally better.
There's huge problems at Manchester United.
I'm talking about the standards, which is last season they were fighting to get in the top four, didn't make it. They won a trophy. Yeah. This season they're fighting to get the top four, might make it, might not.
Might win 2 trophies.
And might win an EFL Cup, and they might win the Europa League as well. These are not the trophies Manchester United are traditionally going for. So are the standards higher? No, they're not. They should be going for the title, and they're not. They're nowhere near it.
Since Sir Alex left, it's been quite obvious, but there's some issues at Manchester United that needed sorting out. Now, they've tried 2 different managers. This is a third one. Mm-hmm. A lot of people said he should have been the guy who got it 3 years ago, whatever it was. He's got it now. Do we expect immediate? I think at the start of the season, we all had this probably stupid thought that Manchester United probably were going to win the title. But did we actually realise how good Conte was going to be at Chelsea as a manager? Did we realise Pochettino and Spurs were going to have another unbelievable season where everybody's improved, and he's improved them since last season as well? No, we didn't expect that. So Manchester United have been still found wanting. They're still a little bit behind Chelsea and Tottenham. They've got to catch them, and Manchester City, to be honest. So they're coming from behind.
I'm struggling to see a positive there, to be honest. I mean, when he's had the resources he's had, absolutely, Pep deserves criticism. I can see why Arsene Wenger obviously deserves criticism. Somehow Jose's getting away with it. What? Because Rashford scores a goal in Europe. So I don't get. Let's throw it out there. Rashford was always good. We knew this time last year. We knew Rashford was good. So now Rashford's good. So,
It was exciting.
yeah, cool. And he was exciting last year as well.
You know, it was exciting last year. He burst onto the scene, which can happen in sport. People do burst onto the scene, whether it be rugby, whether it be cricket, whether it be football. That does happen, Aid.
But he's not been made by
burst on the
Mourinho.
scene. They burst onto the scene. Now, he had to then keep that up. It's not that easy. But Rashford has shown, but he is pure quality. He's quality in the making and getting better all the time.